Hello and welcome to ABW Live. Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year. It's not a bad way to start the year, is it? It really isn't. Oh my God. Right, will you lot stop this? Stop bloody donating. It's bloody nuts. First of all, the magnificent Michael Hahnemann smashes in with the donation and he says, what a win, what a performance, brilliant, all the way through the team. That was much more like it. Happy New Year, lads, get in. Then Sean Lee Goodwin smashes in the donation and says, thank you. Thank you, guys, much appreciated. You are way, way, way too kind, and I don't quite kind of know what to say, but thank you ever so much. Why can't I highlight Sean Lee's donation here? What's going on with that?
Don't ask me, mate. I've done something to my YouTube and it's gone all wonky. Oh, hello, I'm here as well.
Oh, I haven't introduced anybody yet, so be it. Right. Rich is supposed to be with us, Cactus, but I don't know where the hell he is. But with me tonight is John Welsh. Say hello, John.
Hello, John. I'm very happy, man, Jace. What a start to the year.
I've got to be honest with you, pal. You're not alone. You're not alone. That was excellent. That was. Sean Lee, I do apologise. It's not coming up, so, you know, I don't know. Or is it yes, no. Yes, there's 10 quid in there. I don't know what the hell's going on here. I don't know what the... Oh, well, then I only go anyway. I do apologise, guys. Waiting for people to join, and we're all a little bit of a kerfuffle today. First in the box tonight, we had... Oh, is it Daniel Cronin, is it? Sorry. This is hardly... This is hardly top quality. We had Cyan Vesh, we had formerly Noza, Thomas from Norway, Ron Ree, Ang235100, the Chris 09, Jimbo's in there, Carlito Alguna, K-Man 1867, Gooner 04, Archie, hello one and all. Brendan Barsa's there. I do apologise, guys, we're not quite with it today, but we're here now. John, what a way to start the new year, pal. Kicked off the game. The lineups came out. Oh, sorry. Richard Morris also donated by a PayPal here on, and he says, Happy New Year, everyone. Sorry, Rich, I nearly forgot you. Also, a bit of a shout out to Nicky Wilson. Nicky, you know why you're getting a shout out. Keep your chin up, fella. Love you. With the lineups, John, we had Pepe back in, Sokratis in, Xhaka back in, and Kolasinac in. What do you think of that?
I liked it. We're at home, really attacking. Nice to see Pepe getting a start. Was glad to see Kolasinac back because, like, Saka's done brilliant, I think, at left back really, really well, but he's played, 3-4 games on the bounce now. The kid looked knackered, really needed the game off, so it's great to have Kolasinac back. And yeah, the fact that Xhaka came in as well, I thought was huge. It's not necessarily knocking Guendouzi or anything else, but the way everything we've been talking about...
Don't be nice. Just call it the way it is, okay?
The way everyone had been talking about Xhaka in the papers, and it looked like he was going, and that was it. He was probably never going to play for Arsenal again. And the fact he's come back into the team, I'm hoping that now Arteta's going to say to him, no, look, you're getting the fans back on your side. You're gonna stay here now. We've got a project to work towards. And yeah, just really, really happy with the lineup and the fact that we were like, no, we're going to go for United. We're going to play our way. We're not going to be passive. We're not going to try and bow to the opposition. We're going to really go for it.
Yeah, and it was great to see the fact that, you know, it was an aggressive lineup. It was ambitious. Okay, it was just nice to see the fact that, you know, I'm sorry, but even under Freddie, okay, some of the team selections were absolutely dire, and there was no ambition there. And today, you know, we've seen, you know, you see Pepe getting a start. You know, I was only a bit concerned about the bench, but other than that, I thought great to see. Rich, welcome to the show. You're late. Where have you been?
Sorry, buddy. I've dealing with the wife. She's not well. I'll go into that later.
Oh, I tell her.
Sorry.
No excuses. These women talk about giving birth and stuff like that and saying they can walk through anything. No.
Yeah.
I'm going to shut my mouth right now. I am. Game fight.
They haven't watched Arsenal for the last year. They got no idea what real pain is.
That is very true. Sorry I'm late, boys. Sorry I'm late.
No problem. Right. Okay, Rich. My handwriting's atrocious today. We get an early shot saved by Leno. You see Kolasinac pick up a straight yellow card for a foul on James' edge of the box. Did you at that point think that the referee was not going to take any nonsense off anyone today?
Yeah, I thought I don't know. At times, I thought the ref had a really poor game. I'm just blowing for things that weren't a foul, but blowing for things that weren't really a foul. And I thought the yellow card might be a bit harsh, but it was a really dumb foul to give away. There was no subtlety or nuance to what Kolasinac did. He just steamed into the back of James, and he kept doing it all game. And it was, I know, like you say, more happened later in the game, and it was really positive overall performance from Kolasinac. I thought he had a really, really good game. He was driving me nuts. I was like, "Put your hands down. Put your hands to yourself. Stop! You're on a yellow card. Don't give this guy any opportunities to send you off," kind of thing. But yeah, it was a yellow card for me. I thought it was a very, very silly challenge to give away.
It was, to be fair, but I mean, what was to go on from there was ridiculous. Unique 79 smashes in the donation, and he asks, why do we waste so many counterattacks? We'll ask that in the question section, my friend. That will be us. Mike Hernandez has smashed in the donation as well. And he says, hello, gentlemen. Thanks for the show as always. Question, top four still on? In my opinion, yes. Another one, which, John, if you can add that to the questions, pal, we'll ask that. We'll answer that in the questions as well. Corey Austin's in the box as well. Hello, Corey. You okay, pal? John, we then see Matic pull back. I can't remember who it was. Exactly the same. Oh, no, it was on them. He went through Lacazette, sorry. No yellow. He's just dished out the yellow for Kolasinac, and then no yellow for Matic. I mean, this is going to be a sign of things to come with pullbacks, etc. How can anybody justify that?
I really didn't understand it. It's like, because it's on the halfway line, maybe, but it was just bizarre because you look at the foul that Kolasinac made, which was a stupid foul, and then you look at the one that Matic did, which is exactly the same thing, and no yellow. And yeah, the referee, how no United player got booked is just beyond me. It made no sense whatsoever. We're
going to ask that. There's somebody's just put that in the box. Can you put that in the questions as well, please, pal? I don't know who's asked it. I do apologise. Daryl Kane smashes in with a donation, and he says, 2020, boys. 2020. Happy New Year, all. Happy man. Daryl, you're top man. You're the only Kane that I bloody like. Yeah, then we go on. Sorry, I do apologize, guys. It's a bit discombobulated tonight. Rich, the Pepe goal. Great work from Aubameyang. Get a deflection, and Pepe makes no mistake with it. Ozil and Aubameyang in the build-up were brilliant, weren't they?
Yeah, they really were. As was a Kolasinac. So I know I slagged him off for the whole hands and giving away needless fouls. Kolasinac was really aggressive and galloped forward quite often. Like it was him. You see him pointing. That's where I want it to Aubameyang, and then it was him his pullback. It got a little bit of a lucky deflection kind of thing. To fall for Pepe, but it was very, very positive, and that's one of the things that I think maybe like when Saka comes in and plays instead of Kolasinac, he doesn't have that confidence and that directness that Kolasinac does. But he's young, he's not really a left back kind of thing.
I think,
but it was really, really good.
You've got that physicality as well, though, haven't you?
Yeah.
That physicality, which you look at Saka as a young boy. still learning his
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm not having a pop at him. He's got his whole career ahead of him. But I'm just saying, like, when Kolasinac is on the pitch and he's in that, yes, he has his faults, and I'm not the biggest fan of his.
Yeah.
But you can see what he offers you. Pullback FC was in full effect for Pepe's goal. It was I can't remember what the build up between Ozil and Aubameyang was. I know.
Lovely pass through, John. It was a hell of a finish by Pepe, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, because he had to adjust himself because he's lining up expecting the ball to come one way, and then obviously he gets that little deflection off. I think it was Lindelof, and yeah, just getting his body shape right. And you can look. We've said all along, since every time you see him on the pitch, it's so clear he's got talent and he's got ability, but it's that confidence and having self-belief and getting into the right areas. And since Arteta's been in charge from game one, I know this is our first win, but you can see the players are getting much better positions. The wide men, when it's on one side of the box, they're coming in and they're attacking at the back post, and that's exactly what he did. And Ozil's just the run he makes into the box, actually getting into the box, which he hasn't always done enough. Gets in there, it's just enough to take Luke Shaw away from Pepe and give him that bit of space. And it's a really, really good finish. De Gea's got no chance.
No, yeah, do you know what? We called for him on the weekend show to be in the team to start, and he started off at the races. He started off attacking the box, attacking the ball. I just wish he'd have committed to a few more runs down the side. Really take on his full back, but that'll come. Rich, you then see an Aubameyang effort go over. We look full of beans at this time. You had Pepe and terrorised Shaw down the side. Him and Ozil with some great work. Unfortunately, Aubameyang couldn't finish it. Really, really disappointing that.
Yeah, it was unlucky. Like I said, Pepe, he was on it. That goal, I'm hoping it will, kickstart him and stuff like that. He turned Shaw inside and out. There was just a few times. I don't know if it's like a confidence thing or if he's just not that type of player. I didn't see him all that much in France, but I wanted him to drive a little bit more, get that ball and just fucking knock it past Shaw 5 yards and just go on a run kind of thing. But yeah, like I said, we started to grow in confidence from after that goal, and it was, the Aubameyang chance was really, really unlucky, but it was fueling me with optimism. I was like, oh, this is what it's supposed to be like. This is what we should be doing.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. We've seen some utter dross over the last 18 months, and I'm sorry, as much as people want to laud Freddie Ljungberg, his team's a dross and had no ambition as well. Okay, they just didn't. And you just look at the team selections, and it's there for everyone to see. And Mickey has just come in and he's absolutely changed the mindset, which is fantastic to see. John, you then see Lingard get away with a foul on Torreira, no yellow again. It was a nasty one as well. Then you see some great defending from Sokratis on Martial. Thankfully, he was over the concussion, and he started the game confidently, Sokratis, didn't he?
Yeah, and I think in all the games Arteta's been in, I think the defence from the start of the game has always looked more confident than you have seen them in the past year. But obviously, as the game's faded on, they've looked a bit shaky. But it's because of the way he's got the team playing. They're confident. He's told them, this is the way I want you to play. He's got a midfield in front of them now that are protecting them properly. Every time you saw Aubameyang or Torreira or whoever make a challenge or come back and do that, Sokratis and Luiz were straight away applauding them, saying, yes, thank you, because you're helping us out, because you're making it easier for them. And when you see that, as if you're playing a centre-back, and the amount of times you'd see him come across and take out, a Martial run or Rashford or David Luiz doing the same, that's all they want to do. They want to be able to pick up and clear those balls and make those last 6 challenges, because they should be the last ones defending. Whereas in the last year, it's basically gone past the forwards, past the midfield, and they've been the first ones to defend. And it's just straight at Leno. And it's making the game so much easier for them. But they were, both of them tonight, I thought David Luiz and Sokratis were absolutely brilliant.
I got to be honest, I was a bit harsh on Torreira on the weekend. Although he is a bit lightweight, and I do expect better from him. Don't get me wrong; he's not getting away with it, right? But I was a bit harsh on Torreira, to be fair. But you just look at that pairing of Torreira and Xhaka, and it's streets ahead of anything else we've got in the locker, and it showed. And full credit to Luiz and Sokratis tonight. Thought they were magnificent. We'll come to Sokratis obviously a bit later, but I thought that challenge. I thought they played smart football.
Yeah, really clever. They played out when they could, but they also just launched it when they had to. And
that pair screaming in front of them really gave them the confidence to do that. We've had another donation from Julian Nagelsmann. The RB Leipzig coach is now a big favourite at the Arsenal nowadays, and we like you. Thank you for that, Julian. Idolo Welsh with another masterclass. Now, which Welshman? No, it's you, isn't it, John? It's you, unfortunately.
It's always me, Jace.
It's always you. I can't believe it. I'm getting love. Kyan Jackson's in the box from Jamaica. Hiya, Kyan. Absolutely good to see you there, pal. I love this. So just on Chemical X has just smashed in with, "Hi guys, what a year this has been so far." Brilliant. Oh, I tell you what, I love this chat box. Rich, my next note is 17 minutes in and we are playing football and it's beautiful. We were confident on the ball. Passing was slick. We were ambitious. We were aggressive. Everything was. We were looking to play everything forward. Oh my God, I really enjoyed it. What were your thoughts?
It's the most enjoyable half of football I've had in a good couple of years. I think it was fantastic. It was so refreshing to see. One of the big things that Arteta is having to come in and do, which is what I wanted Emery to do. We needed to change the culture at the club, be aggressive, be proactive, and that's what he's doing. It's not going to happen overnight, kind of thing, and it's still working out the kinks because we're after 15 minutes we seem to be blowing out our arse. Excuse my language. But it's so positive to see, and it was enjoyable. It was so nice to enjoy the football for the first time in 18 months. Do you know what I mean? It was like I say, it was lovely. One touch football, movement. It would do. I noticed quite a lot that whenever Sokratis or someone had the ball, Sokratis and Luiz were sprinting to get into space, sprinting to make themselves available. Torreira as well, moving, not just ambling to get into space or doing that thing where you kind of put your hand up in the air, but you're not really. You don't want the ball. You're in marked space. No, they were getting into space and they were getting it and they're moving it. It was really, really positive and something that I'm so glad that hopefully we continue to move forward towards.
Yeah, no, it was enjoyable to see. John, you see some really good defence by us. When we break, we're breaking really, really quickly. We're moving that ball with so much more vigor than we ever did. And, we haven't moved the ball like that for quite some time, okay? And as I said before, the one thing that was annoying me was that Pepe just wasn't going for it. He wasn't committing his man. Now, what do you put that down to?
It's the only frustration I've got with him right now, and it's a really minor thing because he's new at the club. It is a new league, and let's be honest, he's coming to a team that's fucking in the gutter, basically, and he's not going to save us single-handedly. I hope it's something that in time he becomes more confident, and maybe it is just a confidence thing. And eventually Arteta gets him to the point where he says, right, now in games, not every time, but every now and again, instead of doing a nice little step over and then laying it inside to Mesut and trying to 1-2, just knock it past your fullback, just run at him, just give him a test, scare him a little bit, see what you can do. Because you saw a couple of times, even when he was shoulder to shoulder with Luke Shaw, he couldn't get anywhere near him. He was turning Maguire inside out as well, so he's got the ability to do it.
He's got the physicality and the pace as well.
I mean, the thing is, the team he's come from was such a counter-attacking team where he would just get given the ball with space to run into. And obviously, the way we're going to play under Arteta is a lot more possession-based, and the team's going to be fronting up against us. And he might have one, maybe two men against him. So it's a different role he's going to be playing if in the same position. So I think you've got to give him time with that, but he's definitely got the potential to do it. There's no doubt. So I'm really hoping we do see it in the future. But as long as I thought he played brilliant tonight. It was the only thing missing from his game, that he didn't just like Rich said, just knock it past Luke Shaw once or twice and just run at him, just see what he did.
Absolutely. Rich, you then see good ball from Pepe, a wonderful turn from Lacazette. Probably could have gone down under the challenge from Maguire. The shot was atrocious. It was an awful shot after all the hard work he did. Then you see Torreira firing wide from a good position, time on the ball. 2 golden opportunities wasted, weren't they?
Yeah, the Lacazette one, he did everything so well apart from the finish. It was the finish of a guy who is like really out of form and like lack of confidence kind of thing. He snatched it. He tried to get the shot off too quick. He didn't steady himself and ended up, I think he toe punted it off. It almost went, did it go for it? It might have even gone off for a throw in. I can't really remember. But yeah, and then when Torreira missed that chance straight after, there was the pessimist in me. I was like, oh no, please don't let it be one of them games where it's, we missing these golden chances and then it's coming back to bite us. And thankfully it wasn't. But yeah, but again, to caveat that pessimism, I was pleased that we were making those chances, because 3-4 weeks ago we weren't making those chances, and it was way worse than that. So at least it's a couple of steps forward, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does actually. Darryl Kane's just smashed in another donation, and he says Emery, Freddie Tickle, Mikel reawakening. I don't know what the hell is going on there, to be honest with you, Darryl. I'm really not sure what to make of that, but there is definitely a reawakening here, and under Arteta, and it's fantastic to see. John.
Jay, sorry, just quickly, we have another one coming from PayPal from Mayank Nagendran. Oh. Yeah. Happy New Year. Have a good one, guys. So thank you, Mayank, as well, for that donation.
Look, people, you do not have to donate to us all the time. Bloody hell, stop it with the generosity. It's 2020, save up. Sorry, I shouldn't be such an arsehole, should I? No, thank you, guys. You're superb. It's very, very kind of you. Thanks, Mayank. You're a rock star, pal. John, you see, we screw up a couple more opportunities. We're playing some really good football. Then you see David De Gea screw up a clearance, and Pepe takes the ball a couple of touches round, and he hits a lovely curling shot. Just can't get in, hits the post. Oh, what were you thinking at this point? Because at this point, I was thinking, oh my God, are we going to regret this?
Yeah, a bit like Rich, because you had the Lacazette one where he shows amazing strength and spins and then fluffs the chance. Then you see Torreira playing like in Pele or something, running rings around the edge of the box and screws his shot just wide.
Yeah. And
then Pepe does that and you hit the post and you think, oh, it's going to be one of those games, isn't it? And I had that horrible feeling of, we're just going to keep getting these chances, we're going to hit the post, or it's going to get some last second deflection, not go in, and United will probably get a last minute equaliser or something like that. So, I mean, I was really, like Rich, I was really, really happy we were making the chances. And when you see Pepe do something like that, they were brilliant on the footage I was watching. It was a lovely slow-mo of his technique and his body shape as he hits that ball. It's so good. It is so good. And you remember for years, people used to say about Arjen Robben,
yeah,
just show him on his right foot. He can't kick it with his right foot. Didn't matter how many times you told people. Everyone knew. and he'd still managed to cut inside on his left. And everyone knows with Pepe, don't let him on his left-hand side.
But when but this is the thing. When that player's footwork is so good, okay, it doesn't matter how much you try to show him outside. He's always going to cut inside because he can beat you with his feet, and that's the thing. And
I think as he grows in confidence and gets more and more game time and stuff, that sort of thing where you see him cut in and take those shots, they're just going to start going in. I've got no doubt about it. He'll start banging in the goals, definitely.
Yeah, well, the one thing
that all came though from us defending from the front, from being aggressive and closing down De Gea.
I think Ozil won that. That one came from that, but we had another chance like that. Yeah, it was Ozil defending in the right back position.
To be fair, boys, we're going to bring this up a bit later, okay? Because I really want to talk about our attitude of the top four, okay? Because I think they've been absolutely magnificent. Right, okay. Daryl Kane's in the box here. He says, apologies, Jace. He says, character limit doesn't allow me to get my point across. So much to be said with the little space. Thanks for everything you do, lads. I look forward to a good conversation after games. You are way, way too kind. Then our very own Shredder who's in the box, who said something really naughty about John Welsh earlier on. I really like that. He says, little do you know that these donations go to Jace's Happy Meds. That's right. He's been on the Happy Meds all this time. Imagine, I'm not going to say that phrase there, without those little happy pills. Got a point, Shreds. You really have got a point. And then we've got the magnificent... Michael Hahnemann smashed in the donation as well. Torreira and Xhaka bossed the midfield. Amazing. Hard to argue with that, pal. Jesus. I do apologise, guys. I'm gonna keep all this.
He's got so many donations, we're never going to get the show finished.
I know. And before we started, John's there saying, oh, yeah, I wouldn't done today, guys. Please, go work in the morning. So have I. And it's just, you bunch of gits. I love this chat box. Ed Loud says, Danny, the GFP, he has a magic cat. He is the button monkey from Bergkamp Wonderland. Trolls were in the chatter box. He banned them. Just like that, and we win the Premier League. His hair will damn grow back. I should be doing that in some sort of tune. I do apologise, Ed, but I'm just not good enough, to be honest with you. I'm just not good enough. John, this one from Forming Notes, I want to talk about that afterwards, please. And there's one from Keith, Pete Colson there. Jeez. Who's next? Oh, it's Rich. Rich. Oh, Jesus, I've got notes everywhere here. You see a great break, okay? On the counter again. Lacazette puts in a bang decent cross. Pepe's edge of the box doesn't attack it.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where you want them kind of switch around, don't you? You want Pepe whipping it in. You want Lacazette in the middle. It was a great cross for, like I say, it was a centre forward's dream of a cross. Yeah, like I say, again, it was great work, and it wasn't like a 1-2, and that Lacazette got put down.
Yeah.
Down the way, and it was again really aggressive, really positive. It was. I think it would have maybe taken a ridiculous effort and foresight for Pepe to have got on the end of it, but it was, like I say, he's not that type of player, is he? You like I said, you kind of want him to switch around. Yeah, you want Lacazette in the middle.
Yeah, but he's gonna have to learn to be, because if you want to play in the sort of in this Pep stroke Arteta style, okay, you've got to be attacking the box. You've got to be attacking the space, because that's where all the crosses come in. I got to be honest, I was disappointed with Pepe there, and I thought he had a really, really good first half. I thought he was excellent a lot of the time. Yes, there's some frustrations, but we've seen Lacazette, we've seen Aubameyang do exactly the same thing, and it's costing us goals. We've got to be attacking space and attacking the ball, because otherwise it's pointless putting in those crosses. You're doing all this work for nothing.
Yeah, and I do see what you mean. you know, it's not in, that's not in his nature, as in, like, you know, it's such a being in that box, and it's such a predatory thing. It's not an instinct thing. You kind of generally either got it or you don't. So hopefully it's something that he can work on. But I know what you mean. But I think he was, from where it was, he was too far behind. His starting position was too far behind for when the cross was going to come in. But like I said, I do see what you mean. You want it, you want blood and guts. You want someone, you know, fighting for every blade of grass that, you know, that's on there. I do see what you mean. I do see what you mean.
Absolutely. I think Jonas Segtenberg has donated as well. So Jonas, you're an absolute star. Oh, Gordon Bennett.
Yeah, Jonas has said, I think maybe you guys are getting a ton of donations today because everyone's so happy we're finally back on the Arsenal way, me included. Much love, and let's hope for a Happy New Year. Thank you, Jonas.
Well, Jonas, you're a rock star, mate. And look, this whole bloody chat box is rock stars. You know, I got to be honest. It's so nice to see it happy again, and it's so nice to be positive. You know, after the dross we've been served up over 18 months, and people believing that was okay. That's the bit I found unacceptable. And just watch what we're doing now. And I know it's only the start, and I know there's a long way to go, but we're playing with ambition, and we're being aggressive, and we're having a go, and we're being slick in what we're doing, and we're organised. And I think that's just, you know, I think that's to be admired. I think it's to be admired that people go out and they show ambition. And long may it continue under Mikel Arteta. John, we win a corner. A really good delivery by Pepe. Okay, a really good head on from Lacazette. De Gea can't handle it. Doesn't deal with it. Sokratis with the volley. My God, it was what a finish! Fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it was brilliant, and it was, you know, we absolutely deserved it. We dominated the game. United couldn't get the ball. We only let them have it when we wanted them to have it. But yeah, the delivery from Pepe, we've seen this a lot. His corners are really good. They are spot on. He knows exactly what he's picking out. That's obviously a set piece routine they've worked on. I'm sure United fans are moaning about De Gea not like just catching the ball or trying to keep hold of it or whatever. A really good flick by Lacazette that was going to be a goal anyway. And Sokratis just absolutely thunderbastards that into the back of the net, which is great because obviously we all immediately in our WhatsApp chat were going, oh, look, Jason's that clown. He scored a goal and winding Jason up straight away.
I got to be honest. I thought that was a hell of a finish.
I
thought it was brilliant. You know, I thought the way he took that, and like everybody else, I think this is the thing. If we're negative about an Arsenal player, we want to be proven wrong. We don't want them to fail because, because we think they're bad. I'd rather have people ram my words down my throat about Sokratis. And, you know, with people actually protecting him now, he played well today. You got to give him credit. You can talk about United's performance all you want, but Sokratis and Luiz played well today. And it's great to see him. It's a brilliant finish. Before I come to you, Rich, Gabriel Kaufman smashes in with a donation and he says, sorry I'm late. What a start of the decade. Happy New Year to you, jolly, wonderful men. Up the arse. Gabriel Kaufman, you were an absolute rock star, bro. I just think you're magnificent. Kev, Dublin Gunners in there. He says, greetings from Madrid. Kev, you're...
Hola.
I'm not being funny, guys, okay? I just fucking love this place when it's like this. K-Man 1867 smashes in with a donation as well. Oh, Jesus, where you guys... You're just winding me up now, no? You're just winding me up. You're just doing this to tease me. He hasn't said anything because K-Man's always in there just doing bits because that's what he does. But that's why we love you, K-Man. You're an absolute star. Thank you, guys. Yes, sorry, Rich. Next, you see Luiz buying a clever free kick in his own half. We tried to play the ball out. We didn't do it very well. We tried to force it, and Luiz, using all his experience, buys the free kick. And I really, 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 really like that.
Yeah, I thought I think his last 2 games have been his best games in an Arsenal shirt. Yeah, he really seems to be on it, and it's that bit of experience and that bit of, dare I say it, shithousery. Because he was going nowhere. Like I said, it's that thing where I think Mikel said it. I can't remember if it was in after the Chelsea game or maybe the game before. We was saying about, we need to know when it's on and when it's not, when to play it out, when to go it long. And he could see that it wasn't on. So, and he just drew the foul. It was very, very smart. And like I say, it's a good bit of shithousery, which we don't often do all that well. So obviously, it was another little to end the first half off of.
It was really, really good. You get Leno saving from Maguire at a free kick. Just one of the most enjoyable halves of football I've seen in a long, long time. This season, up until Arteta's come in, I've only really enjoyed the cup performances with the youngsters. And now to see what we're doing now and to kind of, we've seen a lot of negativity around this squad. Players getting slagged off. You look at the difference in Xhaka now. Okay? It's hardly surprising if you actually set this team up properly, and if you actually screen your back four, we look more defensively solid. And this is why I've been calling it the last few weeks for a bit more positivity, because I think it's there. I think it's really there. So that was the first half, guys, and we see possession. We bossed it. 59%, 7 shots as opposed to United's 2, 3 shots on target, just 2 for them, corner each, fouls 8 each. A thoroughly enjoyable half of football. But unfortunately, dear chat box, there's 400 of you watching but now, and I've only got 120 likes. Are you guys trying to be Jesse Lingard? Are you really trying to be like Jesse Lingard? Oh, look, I can dance. I can dance like a fucking moron because I'm a good big twat. Or are you going to try to be like Granit Xhaka, boss in the midfield? Or be like Maitland-Niles, confident, taking it up, driving it forward, defending like a boss. Like a boss. I give it like Sokratis. Fucking volleys, 10 a penny. Easy. Looking like a Greek barman who's had too much beer and is going to have a fight with anyone at any time. Because he was that good today. Now, who do you want to be like? Jesse, the non-Lingard? Or are you going to be like Sokratis? Bossing defending, smashing in the goals, living his best life. Who do you want to be? Because if you want to be like Jesse Lingard, carry on. Don't do anything. If you want to be like Sokratis, 180 likes, please. Tappy, let's get going. That's for you, Dave. Faber, I love you. On the second half, lads, okay? Fred on Lacazette from behind. Oh, Mike Hernandez smashes in with a donation again. I can't fucking keep up with all this. Oh, thank you, mate. And he says, we're busy donating. We can't hit the like button. You fucking twat. That's brilliant. Oh. Actually, this one's for you, John. John Bernstein. Oh, Jesus Christ. Sorry, guys, the show's over. We got to take donations, and, it's just the way it is. You get Fred on behind on Lacazette, okay? He does it a little later again. Still no yellow card. I mean, what's going on?
I can only assume the referee watched the first half and went, fuck me, United have got no hope of doing anything. I'll try try and be nice. It's the only rational explanation I can come up with, honestly, because how none of them got booked, it's ridiculous. Fred in particular, he made so many, and you saw so many of the players going up to the referee. There was a great one where I think Xhaka had been fouled, and he just went up to referees like 1, 2, 3, 4 times, nothing, and the ref just looked at him. He just went, "Oh, fuck off," and just walked off. He's like, "Oh, I've had enough of you." Honestly, it's pathetic. It really is. I'm not asking for players to be sent off. It's nothing like that. But you book them and you say, look, you can't keep repeatedly fouling people. The thing was, what I liked was that we learned from the Chelsea game, because that's what Chelsea started to do in the game when we lost control of it. We learned. We didn't react and we didn't fall apart. We said, no, you know what? We're tired. We're going to have to sit back a little bit deeper now. And let United have the ball a bit more now. But we still didn't really give them any proper chances in the game.
Absolutely. I forgot to read a John Bernstein's message. He says, playing with identity and heart, combine the two and we can do great things. We were gassed in the second half, but shape and desire saw us through. I think that is absolutely bang on. What I did like, Rich, was David Luiz tonight, okay? When Kolasinac was going up the park, okay? Daz 316. Daz 316, I hope your mum's well. I hope she's okay. I hope she's good, fella. Wish her the best for myself, Rich, John, and all the boys at ABW. That's Daz 316's mum. If I knew her name, I'd give her a shout out. Right, sorry. Back to Luiz. Luiz covered Kolasinac really well. He was coming across that left-hand side and clearing everything up, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's, considering it's, one of the things that we've lacked, is having real leaders in the side, and that it was a performance that I kind of didn't see coming, kind of thing. It was really positive to see, and I think he was aware that Kola was struggling, that Kolasinac, as the second half was starting to wear on, you could see he was struggling with his ankle, and he was up against pace merchant Daniel James, and then I think Mason Greenwood came on afterwards. But he took. Just
remember what country Daniel James is from before you start denigrating him, okay? If you look at advise, no.
Is that not okay? Sorry, I apologize.
Sorry.
The great Lord and Savior of Man United, Daniel James. No, bless it. Look, because he's playing against a genuine pace, and that guy is lightning. He's so difficult, and it's such a demoralizing one when you're knackered. It happens to me most Sundays because I'm almost 40 and I'm fat and old. Playing against pace is a nightmare. So it was good that kind of Luiz recognised that and was out there and covering and helping him out, kind of thing. So it was a leader's, but it was almost like a captain's performance from David Luiz, one that I didn't think he had in him anymore, kind of thing. So it was, again, really just another little positive notch to add to the pile from today's game.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. I thought he was excellent today. Daz 316's mum is Valerie, and seriously, from all of us here, thoughts go to you, Valerie. We're in your corner, and if we're in your corner, you're gonna be okay because we're all right. Seriously, keep the chin up, keep plowing forward, keep positive. We love you. Back to the game, John. You see some great work from Lacazette to set up Aubameyang on his way. Awful ball from Aubameyang to Pepe. Never committed to the break. Then we're under the cosh. Leno saving from James. Then Fred. You see really, really great hustle from Lacazette. And as I thought Aubameyang, Pepe and Lacazette fell off a cliff attacking-wise second half. I thought their performances with the ball in front of them was bang average second half. But the hustle they showed and their attitude in defending and leading that line from the front was absolutely magnificent, wasn't it?
Oh, it was brilliant.
Talk us a bit and then hand over to Rich. Okay, I've got to crack now.
I mean, the front three, we talked about in the last game how well Aubameyang was covering the fullback. But Pepe tonight, one of our worries about him being in the team was, would he come back and defend enough? And I think he did that brilliantly. Lacazette all night. I know his shooting boots were definitely not on and he still needs that goal, really needs that to build his confidence. But his work rate and his effort and the way he closes down, he wins the ball back, he's constantly hassling players. And I'd add Ozil into that mix as well, because I think in the first half, Torreira was our number one player for ball interceptions and taking it back off the opposition. And just after him was Ozil with only 2 less. And it just shows you how hard they're working. Rich, just in terms of the way the team presses now, we saw under Emery he tried to do it and it just wasn't together. They weren't doing it together. Now it's almost like when you watch City, and obviously that's going to be where a lot of the comparisons are because of Arteta coming from there, but they'll press for a certain amount of time and then they'll stop off. But they do it together properly as a team now, don't they?
Yeah, there was cohesion and sense. It wasn't headless chicken pressing. Like you said, it was try and win that ball back. If you don't get it, get back into shape. Be rigid. Be strong. That was my first note that I put down for the second half. You know, Lacazette was putting in such a big shift, and you know, even though he was getting absolutely kicked from pillar to post, he was still tracking back, trying to close down. And you know, it was I think it was late in the second half. He ran like, I think it was like 60 yards to try and close down the ball on the left hand side. It was again, it's what we've been crying out for so long. Like I said, you can, not that you can understand or you like losing or anything like that, but if you go down swinging and you go down fighting, you can stomach it somewhat. When you don't try and there's no effort and there's no energy in that, and you go with a whimper, unacceptable. But you know what, the work rate that they were putting in, the shape and again, it wasn't just like, you know, the headless chicken running around trying to chase down the balls. There was nous to what they were doing. It was really, really good, really, really, really good. And like I said, it's again, hopefully, and to me, this is just a starting off point. This is surely can only get better. And that's, again, like I said, and I keep mentioning these positives that keep piling up for me, but this is just another one. Is our aggressiveness, because for too long we have been the worst team in the whole of the Football League, not just the Premiership, the whole of the Football League without the ball. So passive, so rudderless. But it was just, you know, in the short space of time. You know, and I do think it's slightly started with a little bit with Freddie as well. You know, there was a couple of in the West Ham thing. I know you. I think he's on. He's on mute.
Yeah, I'm sorry, mate. Okay, you know, the West Ham game. Yeah, we showed a bit of resilience, but Fred, when you look at Freddie's team selections, when you actually look at the tactics he set out, there was very little change from what was happening when Unai was here. You've seen a total change in mindset now. I'm sorry, okay, I think Freddie gets way too much credit for his time as in charge because he's an Arsenal legend. When you actually look at our results, they were fucking awful, bar one.
I disagree with that sentiment slightly. I don't think
you can disagree with the sentiment. That's fine, but you can't disagree with the results.
Oh no, absolutely, no. And I agree with that, obviously. But you know, we were in the lowest of the low when Freddie took over. No management team with him. Paired, and I think the doctor was running drills as well.
Oh, he was sold on the river. To be fair to him, he was sold.
Oh yeah. That's why I'll disagree with you slightly. But there was
being sold on the river does not stop you from choosing an aggressive, ambitious team or choosing your best players. And I'm sorry, I just don't think Freddie did that. I think he just carried on the Unai Emery system. Okay,
I can agree with that. But I did recognise and I did see a even if it was just a 5 or 10%, I did see a level of energy go up. It wasn't as flat and as poor as that's what I mean. That's why I said a little bit, but it's now gone from 10 to 70% up from in the little time that Arteta has been on the pitch, kind of thing.
No, that's fair comment, pal. John, you then see Pereira hitting the side netting. You see Matic, some really good work from Matic. Jesus. We let ourselves down defensively for the first time, I felt there.
Yeah,
and we were going to come under the cosh. You know, we were losing. So on the 60-minute mark, we're losing the ball. We're not holding it up when we're in possession.
Yeah,
things started to unravel at this point, didn't they?
Yeah, and I think when you look at the team and you look at the work rate they're putting in now. You saw it in the Chelsea game and you saw it again tonight. They are tired. Like, they are not as fit as they need to be able to play this way right now. And David Luiz said as much in his interview after the game tonight. He was saying about how in the second half they just completely dropped off against Chelsea and it wasn't good enough. And he said tonight, look, for the last 30 minutes, we weren't really in the game like we were in the first half where we completely controlled it. He said the difference was tonight, we knew we couldn't run physically, so everything's about how you play with your heart at that point. And that's what they did. They just threw everything they could in front of it. And realistically, if you look at the clear-cut chances United had, like really good ones, they had the Maguire header and they had the Pereira chance to hit into the side netting. Other than that, that was it. As much as United had the ball, we really did still restrict their chances. Yes, we couldn't get out, and United had a lot of the ball, but we didn't let them do anything with it. They were just going sideways so much. And it was only those two occasions where they really had a decent chance. That was it. So I think you kind of have to accept in games that sometimes there's going to be a period of the game where you're not in control of it. Regardless of who you're playing against in the Premier League, they're going to get a chance. You're in the Premier League for a reason. I know United have been up and down all season, but you can't deny that Rashford, Martial, Dan James, these are all very good footballers. And at some point in the game, they're going to get half a chance.
Well, this is the thing. They started to dominate the second half, okay? You saw Pepe come off and Nelson come on. Rich, what were your thoughts on on Pepe's performance? Because I thought first half, I wanted him to commit to more. I wanted him to really commit to when he was in possession of the ball. And then second half, he dropped off the face of the planet.
Yeah, I think we'd kind of run his race kind of thing. I think we were all very, very knackered. I think he came off, it was like 61 minutes, wasn't it, when he came off? He had stopped, he was jogging at that point. And I was like, hook him. He needs to get off. It's if I was going to rate his performance overall, I would say decent. There was a lot of good stuff in what he did, a lot of positive stuff. There is still plenty to work with, but I genuinely have faith in that Arteta might be able to improve on the things that he needs to improve on. I think it was around about that time that we started, like you said, the front three, their work rate had dropped significantly because they were just gassed. They were knackered, kind of thing. So it was a good idea to change him at that time because I do think like his race had run and that side was then starting to become a liability. And I thought it was a good idea to put Reiss Nelson on there, give us a little bit of energy, and also as he's played wing back a couple of times as well, to hopefully give us a little bit of protection for the Maitland-Niles as well. Who, even though Maitland-Niles, I thought he had a very, very good game today.
I thought Maitland-Niles was man of the match. I've got to be honest. I thought the guy was man of the match for me. Okay, you look across the performances that we put out there today, and you will see, I think, the people have mentioned 2 or 3 different players. Luiz, Xhaka in the shout. There've been a load of them there. Before me, I thought Maitland-Niles was magnificent. His confidence levels have gone through the roof since Arteta's come in. and it's wonderful to see. John, you see Saka replace Kolasinac. Your views on Cola's game, because I enjoyed his performance.
I thought he was really good. I did not expect him to be playing at that level instantly coming back after he's been out for a while, because he seemed straight away at pace with the rest of the team, didn't he? I mean, the first time he got the ball, we went like 40 yards with it and absolutely blitzed through United. And look, he's such a fucking lump. He's so hard to stop when he gets going. But, I mean, that first goal is everything you see at Man City. It's very simple, basic football thing of get behind the defence, get them turned facing you, so they're completely wrong way, they're out of position, they don't know what's behind them, and cut the ball back. And he's clearly said to him, play it on the ground. We haven't got the players who are going to head the ball. Put it on the deck. Put it on the deck. Put it on the deck. Bang, Pepe gets a goal. And every time he was trying to get forwards, and a lot of the game he was playing more or less as a winger. And yeah, really, really good performance from him. I hope that he keeps those performance levels high, because you want as many people competing for positions as possible, because it makes everyone raise their level. You don't want to be, oh, well, there's no other left back, I've got an easy walk into the team. No, you've got to perform, you've got to earn your place. And I think that's what he's brought into the team. And I was really impressed with Connor today. I thought he was great. Absolutely.
I think, his physicality and his directness was refreshing again, because we haven't had that for a while. And to be fair to Saka, I think Saka's done really, really, really well.
Oh, he's done brilliant.
Okay. Yeah. But there's a massive difference in size and experience in all these things, and it's nice to have him there. Torreira's getting a lot of shouts for man of the match. Can't really argue with that, to be fair.
He was brilliant.
I thought him, there's a number of players I thought were magnificent today, and we'll get that in a bit. Rich, you then see, you see Leno doing a bit of work, okay? He's saving, he's made a few saves. When we do break, we're not finishing anything off. You see some brilliance from Ozil on the break, okay, where he goes around Wan-Bissaka. He made Wan-Bissaka look like, as if he wasn't there. And it's a mix-up on this occasion. You can't have a go at either of them. Lacazette's not making the run. It's just crossed wires. Your Lacazette firing over after great work from Aubameyang and Xhaka. Oh God, we weren't making the most of our chances, were we? We just weren't.
No, we were just tired. It was the mistakes and the miscommunication, mix up of tired players. Get that lactic acid pumping around everybody, and it's just it was making us look nervous, because as I said, I then thought we were starting to look getting a bit too deep, and I think it was just around about like the 65-minute mark, Xhaka was screaming at everybody to get up, to get closer up to the pitch, because we started. It was the first time in the game where we were making those breakaways, and then it was just we were then getting a bit too stretched, because then Lacazette and Aubameyang weren't able to get back as quickly, and Ozil weren't. Whereas in the first half, they were sprinting back into there. They physically weren't capable of doing it again and again and again and again. And we were starting to get a little bit stretched, and that's when United was starting to come into the game, kind of thing. But it just the mix-ups and the missed opportunities. It was just tiredness, and it was just another one where I was again. I can't help but keep thinking. I'm like, oh no, please don't make us rue this. Please don't make us rue this.
Agreed, John. I think the big thing for us today, though, look, we'll wind the game up here now, because United dominated the second half. To give you an idea, on stats-wise, they ended up with more possession, 51% possession just. So it's a big swing in the second half as opposed to the first. 10 shots each, 4 shots on target each. They had 4 corners as opposed to our 1. And they had 15 fouls as opposed to our 11, okay? But the big thing for me was as much as the pace they had on the pitch, as they had their share of the ball, we were far better organised. That midfield duo of Torreira and Xhaka screened the back four really, really well. You saw great performances from Kolasinac and then Saka after he came on, getting back to defend. I thought defending from the front, Maitland-Niles was magnificent. Okay, I thought Ainsley Maitland-Niles, as I say, he's my man of the match. Okay, and if you guys disagree, that's fine, absolutely fine. I got no problem with it, But I thought the closing down of Aubameyang, Pepe, Nelson, and Mesut Ozil and Lacazette was for me is magnificent today.
Yeah, just the whole team today were absolutely brilliant. That it's the most I've enjoyed watching football for probably years, like watching Arsenal. It was the first half was totally dominant. I didn't have a worry at all. United had no chance. And even in the second half, when I could see we were tiring and we were getting a little bit sloppy in our passing, I still wasn't nervous because the way we were organised and the chances we were giving up to United, they weren't great chances. Leno was taking like slow shots from on the edge of the box maybe, or really sort of hopeful long distance ones that he was going to have no problem with. And just the team was so together. You could sit there. They looked like a team. It's the first time in months they looked like a team together. They were cheering each other on. They were encouraging. When they were criticising someone, it wasn't like in previous games in the last few months where they were going, "Oh, well, I'm not talking to him to the rest of the game." It was, no, I need you to do this because then it helps me do my job. And it's so much more together. And you could see when the players are coming off and they're subbed off, and the way Arteta talks to them on the sideline, or the coaches, everyone on the bench, it feels like Arsenal Football Club again. It really does. I know it's only one.
Did you see? I was going to say, did you see when Saka, when he first came onto the pitch, he played like a really crappy ball to Luiz, which put Luiz in all sorts of trouble, and Luiz just had to kick it off the pitch. Instead of giving him a bollocking and stuff like that, he was clapping him. Don't worry. Get better, just geeing him up rather than, and that's what I think you're alluding to.
Those attitudes a few months ago, it would have been a completely different reaction, totally different. And also the fans in the stadium tonight, magnificent. So nice to hear. Yeah. So nice to hear that.
A mate of mine, Scouser, okay, and he messaged me, said, "Emirates is rocking tonight. You guys playing really well."
Yeah,
now, that hasn't happened in an awful long time. A quick shout out to Fred's free kick as well. Hey, cheerio. That was horrendous. I really enjoyed that. I think the big thing is you can see that there's now a clarity of message going through to the players. Okay? There's real direction coming from Mikel Arteta, whereas in the past, everything's been muddled. There's been too much nonsense coming from Emery and his team. And you're now seeing... it's one man, one vision. It's right. Let's put into practice what we preach. Let's not victimize players. You look at the way players have been through hard times. Mesut Ozil slagged off to high hell. Okay, I was a little harsh on Guendouzi on last week on the weekend. Don't think the kid's going to make it, but I was too harsh on him there. But you see Herbie's free since 2004, in jail, out soon, comes in with, woo, we won. Best name I've ever seen. And yeah. But, you see Ozil, a resurgence in his form. Xhaka looking like a player. You see the back four protected. Okay, Rich, there's been a total sea change in the message, execution, and attitude of this team, hasn't there?
Oh, absolutely. And it's not I want to dwell on negatives. I kind of wish they made this change sooner, in that international break that they had. But yeah, you can see this.
Should have made it in the summer.
Oh yeah, or that too. Yeah. I can completely see that. But like you said, you can see that there is a message there. There seems to be a philosophy, and you can see that because there is a distinct change. It's this team that played tonight, and even for large, for the first half in the Chelsea game, and the team 3-4 weeks ago, it's like night and day. So there's definitely a positive and a different message that Arteta is instilling to him, and he seems to be getting the players on message and on board, and everybody seeming to be starting to sing from the same hymn sheet. And like we only had the first half against Chelsea. We had 50 minutes against United, and like I said, hopefully that gets better and we go forward and we go forward. It's positive times.
It is. I really enjoyed it. John, Torreira, Xhaka, Maitland-Niles, Ozil, all players who've suffered and suffered very badly under the Emery reign, all flourishing tonight. And so you see the support, you see the leadership that's been allowed to sort of come to fruition, and we're a very, very different outfit. We've got a very, very different attitude, but the fans as well buying into this.
Yeah.
We are going to need to strengthen the squad.
Of course, yeah.
Okay, but where do you see us needing to strengthen at this moment in time?
I still do think we need something in midfield, because I think it's too much to ask Xhaka and Torreira to do it all.
Yeah.
That's definitely one. Right back may be an issue. It honestly depends what happens with Bellerin, because I don't know what's going on with Hector in terms of his fitness and how long it's going to take him to come back and whether he's going to be back in there. I don't think the forward line is something we necessarily need to touch. Lots of people ask about Xhaka and whether he should leave and all that kind of thing. I said this last time.
We'll come back in a second, mate. There's questions on it, so let's answer that later. Just what positions would you bring in, okay? And
right now for this squad, I think I would still want to bring in a centre mid and a centre back. That's the two positions I would still want to go for, because I still think you need to build around the spine of the team, and you go from there.
Okay. Rich, before we go into questions, it's so much fun watching football again, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. I almost forgot what this feels like. It's been so long, but yeah, it was really, really enjoyable. It's the I think possibly the most enjoyable game I think since someone put it the Junior Gunner in the chat box, whatever, best atmosphere since 4-2 Spurs. I think it's my most enjoyable game possibly since that game. Yeah, so weird. I don't know what to do with myself. It's just it's been so long since I've felt positive about the Arsenal.
It's nice to see, isn't it? It's nice to see. Right, let's get into some questions. John, if you watch for just in case any more donations come in, because I'm in the thing. John, to you first. Unique79 asks, why do we waste so many counter-attacks?
It's frustrating. Lacazette definitely needs a goal. Like, it's so obvious the guy needs a goal. He was excellent tonight, everything he did other than his finishing. So once he gets a goal, I think that will come back in there. Aubameyang, he really only had one sort of proper chance, which he put over, which if he'd scored would have been a fucking amazing goal, the sort of scissor kick thing he went for. But it will come. It's a long process. Look, if you look at how we played under Freddie, and then if you go back to Emery's last game, and then look at now, they're miles apart. And this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. So this is all going to improve, and we'll start to become more and more clinical. That will happen.
Absolutely. Rich, Phil McKenney asks, how is it possible Man United had 0 bookings?
I have no idea. I don't know if the ref had some sort of bet on how many no bookings or something like that. I don't know. It was bizarre because they were annoying little niggly fouls. So they were the fouls that you probably wouldn't give a booking to.
But Rich,
surely the accumulation.
So Rich, you had Fred come in from behind twice within 5 minutes of each thing. Okay, from behind, you had a nasty challenge on Ozil from Maguire, and it was nasty. You had a couple of clear pullbacks, which under the letter of the law are yellow cards.
Yeah.
You know, this is the thing. They're clear yellow cards.
It's the inconsistent, weird Premier League English football refereeing that just, you know, I don't understand and don't get. I don't know. Like I said, the only thing I can think of is that like I said, I know what you mean the Maguire one, but none of them were massively that you were screaming for yellows. There weren't any like that, but there was so many of, like I said, the accumulation of things. Like you said, you saw Xhaka go, look, 1, 2, 3. How many more are you going to let him get away with, kind of thing? It's just shit officiating. You know, Mike Riley and the PGMO got a lot to answer for, in my view. But yeah, it's just terrible officiating. The guy was just the ref was awful. I didn't think he had a good game at all. That's the only other thing that I can really put it down to.
Absolutely agree, pal. Absolutely agree. I'll answer the next one. Mike Hernandez asks, hello, gentlemen. Thanks for the show as always. Top 4, is it still on? In my opinion, yes, he says. It always has been. It always has been still on. When you look at today's results, Chelsea drawing, Spurs losing, this league, that, you know, everything below Leicester City is poverty. So we're in with a chance. We have to now string 4 or 5 wins together, and we'll be back up there, no issues. Julian Salmon asks, boys, would you be upset if he sold Aubameyang? On a personal note, I think he's going. I wouldn't be too upset if he could get a good fee for him.
I'd be worried if we sold him, just because he's our outlet at the moment for goals. That is the one big worry. I never have a problem with selling a player if they want to leave, as long as you bring in an adequate replacement. That's all I ever ask. I don't think our forward line is an issue at the moment, so 1 in, 1 out is perfectly fine. I don't know who that player would be, but you have to get someone who's good enough to come in and get the goals. That's the issue. So, yeah, if we can get good money for him and he really does want to go, then yeah, sure. But I think you'll see a lot of those players who had stories or maybe not talking about contract negotiations now with Arteta in charge, some of those might be changing their tune now.
Okay. Rich, my uncle Gendron asks, talking about Pepe, do you think it's a natural progression that Pepe is taking time to settle? Wenger wouldn't start new players till December. I'm encouraged by his performances thus far.
Yeah, I think it's a settling in thing. I did wonder at the start, not the start, a couple of weeks ago, when Arteta didn't start him, and I was like, there must be something more to this, because he must be like dog shit in training. Because what's happening? But like I said, it's a different league. He's still fairly young. How old is he? Is he like 23, 24?
24, 25?
I think he's 24, something like that, yeah. I'll look it up.
It's fairly young kind of thing. It's a different league. And as John said earlier, he's come into a side that are so poor, playing, having to play behind people who are not right backs, in Chambers and Maitland-Niles and stuff like that. So it's always going to take time. I remember reading a story, I think it was in Robert Pires's autobiography, when he came over from, was it Marseille he came over from?
Yeah.
And he said, Wenger sat him on the bench just for the first, couple of months, just to look at the speed of the game, and Pires saying, oh my God, how am I going to survive in this league? It's so fast. So it's always going to be a struggle for him. And to come in and hit not a struggle, but it's a lot to ask for him to come in and hit the ground running straight away, I guess. But I do agree. There has been signs of progression. There's little bit of signs. Like there was it against Vittoria where he came and he scored the 2 free kicks, and I thought, oh, there's something there. And then Emery just benched him, and he didn't get any game time. You can see there's stuff there that you can see it's coming and stuff like that. Hopefully that's all. This is all part of it. This is him integrating into the club and integrating into the Premiership. And maybe towards the end of the season and then next season, bang, that's where he goes. That's where he explodes and he becomes the player that he was for Lille last season.
Oh, yeah, look, everybody fits in at their own pace, and that's the thing. Right, we can talk about Granit Xhaka now. Rudy Rastos puts in the box. Xhaka's game by numbers: 100% accuracy, final third passes, pass accuracy 93%, 8 ball recoveries, 5 out of 5 long balls, 3 fouls suffered, 3 tackles, 1, 2 interceptions. Oof. He was good today, wasn't he, John? Now, we've been asked, should we let him go? To me, okay, if you're going to let him go, you've got to have, a really good fee for him, okay? Because players are just going up in value.
Yeah.
They're not going down in value. Also, you need to have a top quality replacement coming in because you've let way too much experience go in the summer. You can't afford to lose all the players we've lost and then let Xhaka go for nothing. This is going to be a real test of Arteta's managerial skills to persuade him to stay. I think the fans will play their part because when they see good performances, they'll reward them with, think, do you think he can stay? Do you think this can change? What are your opinions? What's your opinion?
I think Arteta can convince him to stay. I think just from the way they've been performing since Arteta's been there, it's so different. The atmosphere different. The fans are now behind him. There's always going to be fans who don't like Granit Xhaka. That's fine. But it's up to them. I want to sit here really smug and go, look, I fucking told you so. If you have the right manager, you can actually get a really good performance out of him. I've been telling people this for ages, but
not being funny, mate, okay? How many times we fucking hear it? I'm sorry, chat box. We fucking told you, okay? Too many twats turned and told us we're talking shit. And look what's happening. Fucking funny, innit?
Apparently, Arteta has confirmed Xhaka is staying post his interview. Mike Hernandez put in the box. I really hope that's true. Because I think the problem is, regardless of whether you sell him or not, in the midfield area, in particular centre mid, we are so short of players. We really don't have players. If anything, that's an area where we can't afford to sell when we need to get another body in. So even if you sold Xhaka, you probably need 2, realistically. And one of those has got to be an experienced pro as well. So I hope we keep him. I really like Xhaka. I've been saying it ever since he joined the club. You just have to have the right people around him. Torreira is now being allowed to play his position, which is allowing Xhaka to do what he does best, which is set the tempo, pick the ball up, spray it around, cover area, not men. Torreira covers the men. But it's very. It sounds simple and easy to do, but
it's an holistic thing, isn't it? You look at the way sort of Rambo and Xhaka work together. Okay, they know their roles. Now you've got slightly different skill sets between Torreira and Xhaka as to the older partnership, and they're going to do it slightly differently. But they seem to settle well. They got a lot of playing time last season. And, you're going to need a top quality midfielder to come in and another very good one. Yeah. So it's
I still think we need another body in there. Oh. Maybe Arteta gets a tune out of Ceballos. I don't know. Who knows? But Jace, so many players in this squad have been written off.
And that's fair. That's fair comment, actually, because, I spoke about it earlier on. How many players did we denigrate? And we just weren't performing because, let's be honest, Emery got it wrong.
Yeah.
His whole tenure at the Arsenal was just, the 22-game unbeaten run. We were there. We saw it. It was bang average. And you're now looking at somebody in Mikel Arteta, and I want your thoughts on this, Rich. He's talking about performance. He's, we're going to build a string of wins, a run of wins together on the back of good performances. That's something we didn't have under Unai Emery, and this is a refreshing change because, again, it's the basics of sport, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. Like I say, you highlighted that 22 run unbeaten run, which was, there were so many of those games. At the end, it was like, how did we not lose that game? It's not an easy job. Like I said, Mikel's got to come in and he's got to completely change the culture of the whole club, not just that, the first 11. Everybody, everybody's got to, our mindset, the players' mindset, and the players were being set up so poorly for so long, and issues not been addressed for so long. So it's not an easy job, but so far it's coming together. I say again, it's just these little positives that Arteta seems to be making, and yes, it's not that and I don't think it's that new manager bounce thing. I don't think it's that. I think it's more than that. I think it's, like you said, it's processes that Arteta seems to be putting in place. It's that demanding of the performance, because, like you said, those 22 games, a lot of those performances were, to use what you said earlier, dog shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's the performance needs to. Yes, it's great winning ugly sometimes, and they always say that's the mark of champions, or winners, when they win a game where you're not playing brilliantly, but performance needs to be at the optimum to get anything out of this squad, and that is, hopefully, touch wood, that's what Mikel is bringing forward.
Fantastic. 2 last questions, okay? One I'm going to answer, and that's from Gabriel Gamal Kaufman. Who do we have to sacrifice so Lacazette can score? Nobody. I think it's just play him. He'll grab a goal and it'll come. It's as simple as that. Then
Did he mean like a human sacrifice?
Well, you were late today, so your name's number one.
Say probably, yeah.
Ian492 asks expectations for the winter window, and do new players revitalise or put the cosh on a squad that needs to rightfully work together to get out of the current table spot? For me, and I want your opinions on this, guys, okay? Midfield, right back. I think it's the wrong time of the season to get a centre back, okay? If you dependent on what the issue is with Chambers, okay, we may need cover to come in. If you can get 3 good loans in, okay, a decent midfielder to complement Xhaka and to come in and show a bit of leadership, somebody with big experience, Kim Karlstrom without the broken back, so to speak, okay? If you can bring in a decent cover, there's the right back at PSG, okay? Apparently, Chris talking about.
Yep.
And if there's a centre back out there who you can get, fine. But any more than that, I genuinely believe the more time Arteta spends with these players, the more improved they will all become. And I think you need to give them a chance as well.
Yeah.
Because obviously, we can see the difference from Arteta ball to Emery ball.
Yeah, I think it's. I don't think bringing players in is going to disrupt it. I just think you need to add some depth in areas where we're lacking at the moment. And like Jay said, I think centre mid is one. Centre back is difficult this time of year, and also you don't know exactly what's happening with Chambers. Holding, is he going to be back soon? There's talk that Saliba, we're going to try and see if we can cut his loan short and bring him forward early. I don't know if that's going to happen. I've got no idea. If that does, that makes more sense, because then you're not spending money.
He's 18-year-old. He's 18 years of age.
I know, but it gives you more options at least. For a.
Isn't he injured at the minute? Is he just coming back from like a metatarsal injury?
I've got no idea.
He has been injured. I don't know what the injury is.
But I don't think bringing players in is going to disrupt too much, because anyone who comes in at the moment is going to see what's happening at Arsenal, and they're going to be like, I'm excited to play for Arteta. And they're going to buy into it.
Rich, your view?
Honestly, I don't think I can top what John just said. I completely and utterly agree with John said. It's going to be very difficult to get a centre back. I think centre midfield, we need some more bodies. like I say, you're gonna have to pay if you buy someone in January. You're gonna have to pay like an even bigger premium kind of thing. I wouldn't mind going for someone like Thomas Partey, something like that. We need some athletes in the squad, because that was one of the things as we were starting to tire. I was looking at that bench and I was like, who's coming on to bring in some impetus kind of thing. So that's what I think we need to sign a couple of athletes into the squad just to complement people.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. I think it's a good point. I think the athleticism of this squad and the physicality of it, is a bit of an issue. So, it's something we need to look at.
Jace, give your old mate Ivan Gazidis a call and see if we can get Frank Kesse from AC Milan. He's a double-hard bastard who can run all day. And knowing Ivan, he'll probably sell him to us for a tenner. And you can also give him a few words, that you might want to say to him.
I'll give him a bell. I'll give him a bell. I got a bat. I got a bat. I got a bell. Let's go. Right, that's it for tonight. Okay, so we got a hell of a list on the donations front. I can't believe this. I can't believe it. Honestly, I can't. First of all, how many likes we got? 172. That's not 180 people. You were given a target. You have failed to hit that target woefully. You are Jesse fucking Lingard. And you know what that means? You're just a bunch of morons. You didn't hit the target. I'm disgusted with you all. Okay? You're not Sokratis. You're not fucking banging in volleys and bouncing about and bossing the defence. No, you're not. It's embarrassing. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Your parents right now are thinking, 2020, they've screwed it up already. You are shameless. Right. To people who aren't shameless, Richard Morris, Michael Hahnemann, Sean Lee Goodwin, Some Guy, Unique 79, Daryl Kane, Aryan Hadari, a.k.a. Judah Nagelsmann, Daryl Kane again, my Anthony Gendron, Michael Hahnemann, Ed Loud, Jonas Settenberg, Gabriel Germal Kaufman, K-Man 1867, Daryl Kane again, Mike Hernandez, John Bernstein. Thank you all ever so much for your donations. Absolutely magnificent. Another big shout out to Daz316's mum, Valerie. Valerie, we think the world of you. Come on, girl. You can do it. We're in your corner. We think you are brilliant. So come on. Come on, Valerie. Get that smile. Let's get going. Oh, Jackosaurus has just smashed in the donation as well. I think he donated earlier on. Jackosaurus, I apologise. You are a rock star. My apologies, fella. We've now hit 180 likes. Thank you ever so much. I apologise. No, I'm not apologising to you all, Daniel Mage. Stuff it. You weren't there when I wanted it, okay? You've all scrambled for it now, okay? No. Once the horse is bolted, okay, you can't ask for an apology. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Bloody hell. Devon's even piping in. Oh, look, we're at 181 now. Yeah.
I think someone needs to make a gif out of your Jesse Lingard dance.
Arsenio Wonga begging for likes is cringe, to be honest. Fuck. Arsenio, fuck off. Fuck off. You fucking twat. Don't fucking come in here. We had some prick do this the other day, okay? Begging for likes. It's a bit of fun we have in this chat box. If you don't like it, fuck off to another channel. I don't put up that shit.
Thank you very much for watching, but can you wind Jason up at the start of the show? Because we were just about to finish and he's just going to go on now.
Fucking right there.
Also, K-Man's just piped in again. Yeah. He wants you to say your name again.
K-Man 1876. I love you too, bro. That's superb. That's it. 2020 has started off like an absolute fucking cannonball. I absolutely love it. So happy with that. I just can't believe it. I just can't believe it, okay? It's just 2-0, beating United, putting them back in the box where they belong. Do you notice? No fucking trolls from United yet tonight. No. They're all back in their box. That's it. My thanks to Rich Rich, next time you're on, can you turn up on time, please?
I do apologise. I'm sorry, mate. Apologies. Mea culpa. Mea culpa.
No. No apologies.
I promise I'll be better next time.
Goodbye.
No Jesse Lingard from me. I promise.
Thank you, mate. John, you were on time. You're in my good books.
I tried my hardest, and I can tell you now, Jace, I'm never going to be able to Jesse Lingard because I'm too old. I don't know how to dance anymore.
Same here, mate. Same here. I'm not being funny. My knees don't work out well. It's all gone tits up. Chat box, you've been superb. Thank you ever so much. Have a cracking weekend. We'll be back for the Leeds game. I haven't done the lineup yet, but we've got a surprise coming. Happy New Year to you all. I hope it's a good one for all of you. I hope it brings great things for you and yours. Have a wonderful time. Take care. Thank you so much. Good night. Keep it Arsenal.